You will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life? I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Oh, Miss Rusty. Welcome, everybody. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Public Access Podcast here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. It is Friday, May something or other. I don't know, maybe 16th or 17th, somewhere around there. Who knows? Who cares? It'll say on the any sort of metadata or whatever it's called in there somewhere. You'll figure it out. But welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. You want to know about me anywhere? I don't know. Maybe you do. rustydiamond.net or hypnosisisgreat.com. And if you are listening to this and you want to see what everyone looks like, what everything's about, that's easy. All you have to do is go on YouTube or Rumble, type in the Public Access Podcast, and you'll see a lot. Oh, you'll see some. You'll at least see the new ones. And if you want to listen to this, you can go pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find the show. The Public Access Podcast is pretty easy. You're probably doing one of the two right now, so good job on you. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Very much appreciate it. And it's time for me to bring on my special guest. And my special guest is right here and right now. And my special guest right here and right now is Ellie DeSimone, back again, second time.
Hey, Rusty, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me back. I was
You're
so
welcome.
excited. Yay.
Me too. I was like, okay, gonna get to talk to you today. It's been a little bit. This
I
last
know.
time was, I don't even know, maybe November or December or somewhere. And there, I think I just moved down
Yes,
here.
you did just move, but where did you move again? Because it's been, we go through, we move
no.
fast, you and I, we move fast.
Yep, movers and shakers. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm over in near
Yes.
yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the name of that area, but it's Amish country. Is it near the
Yep.
Amish?
Yep.
I remembered that. Yes.
That's the one. And so
Okay.
yeah, been here a little bit. So that's
Nice.
kind of how I can figure out when it was the last time I talked with you, because I think we spoke about that at least a little bit. And so yeah, so somewhere in there. But yeah, so everything going great with you? Everything living the good
Yes.
life?
Living the good life. I've been doing a lot of podcasting. I've been working on the podcast. I have been working on some of the coaching. I've been doing consultant. been doing a lot. And the real estate. So it's that funnel. Remember the funnel? We have to build the funnel. So
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's an important thing to have that funnel of it. And so I mean, yeah, you could, there's reason to do each one of those, and it's nice when all of them are able to feed off of and into one another, and being able to build the Ellie DeSimone brand.
Yeah, it's like what hat? The old saying, right? We have hats, right? Oh, what hat we gonna wear today? It's literally what hat are we gonna freaking wear today? And then sometimes, well, I do need sometimes timers around me to say, okay, it's almost like a class. You got this time, this window to do this, that window to do that. But I get it done. And I have hired some people to work with me. I hired a team. So, because as we know, we're nothing without that. We cannot do it alone. So I'm getting there. Yeah.
It's true. And so, okay, I want to ask you this. I have a few things to ask. Okay.
Cool.
But first one is, what was your hiring process like? How did that look? I like, it's different when when you're the one that's doing the hiring. It's definitely different. How did you go about finding people?
That is a great question, Rusty. And let's start with getting help with the podcast. Okay.
Sure. A lot of work.
A lot of work. And what I'm doing with the podcast is, I'm going to just say it's a little different. I also do podcast for businesses, which I bring businesses onto my podcast, and they talk about their story, how they got started. And it's interesting for a lot of people to hear that, because you may go into a business wherever and say, okay, maybe not people don't think like this. Maybe we do because we're entrepreneurial people. How did they get started, right? How did they, God, I wonder what made them think about doing that business, or how'd they become that lawyer? What was their journey to get there? So I kind of spun a little bit into this. And so when I go to hire people, and when I had to explain to them what I needed them to do, it was hard, because they didn't understand. I first hired a VA, and I don't know if I should say this. Rusty, shut me down if I can't say it, but I'm going to say it.
Oh, you can say it.
Can I say it?
You can say it.
Okay.
You can add to it if you want to as well. If you want to
Okay.
add something a little extra on it.
Okay. I'm going to be nice. Okay. I hired a VA service, and there's two of them that you see all the time advertised. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And I hired people. They're not in America. That's all I'm going to say. and what they were doing was, I had to fire them. I know you asked me the first question, but I'm going to, because the story, it's the story time with Ellen.
I like it.
What I did was, I hired them to do some work for me, and they said they did this, this, and this, and this, and this. But when I started noticing this, I actually locked them out of the accounts. Okay. So they couldn't get into the emails. They couldn't get into a lot of the things that I needed them to do. This is the rough side of it. Yeah. But you got to be on top, right? So what I locked them out of that. And this is for the real estate as well. This is the real estate, mostly the real estate, honestly, because it was together. I hired, because I have different things going, right? My funnel. Right. Let's go back to that funnel. They were freaking charging me when I sat down with them to go over what I pay for. Because at the end of the month, they tell you, oh, we did 30 hours or 32. Well, when they went over and were trying to charge me for oh, kitty cat, when they were trying to charge me for these hours, I said, well, how did you charge me on that day and that day? Well, we put this much hour. We went through your emails. I said, let me just tell you something, motherfucker. You were not in my emails, because you were locked out of my email. I locked you out of everything. So I don't know how you got in there and got in my emails. I got burnt. I said, no more VA, and I am not. I'm sticking with homegrown. I went to a local chamber. I said, hey, do you have any people that could do this, this, and this for me? They put it out there on their little, message board. And I did. I got 2 people now working here locally, remotely in their homes. They can come to the office if they'd like to, but it's so much easier for me to deal with that type of connection, right? It's easier, and they understand, and they can't rip me off.
Right. Because they're there. They're tangible people you can go and reach out to, and
and if I
reach out to.
I could reach out to them, and if I want to strangle them,
right, you can do that.
I know where to find them.
Yeah. It's
Sorry.
hard to strangle someone overseas. Like
Yes.
there's been a few I've wanted to,
Yeah. And
and
it's
you can't.
terrible, terrible. And
Yeah.
that's a true story with the real estate too. And like I said, and the podcast, when I was trying to bring them into this, and they all knew what they were doing, they all knew what they're doing, but yet they all did what they want to do. So my suggestion, anyone wants a VA, reach out to your local chamber of commerce, reach out to whatever organization, colleges too, reach out and see, or even, maybe, well, Fiverr, you got a lot of whatever, but you could reach local. And this way, if you have to reach through the and wring their neck, you can do it. I love
Yeah.
that. No, I don't. No,
It-
no. Yeah, I'm telling you.
But
So, yeah,
kind of,
that's how.
it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And so then you said that you're going to the Chamber of Commerce. So is that where, because I talked about this with someone recently about that for podcasts. Like, who was I talking to? I was talking to a guy. I think he was in Florida as well.
I think we
And
talked about it before. We talked about it, I think, in the
okay,
past.
and yeah, go to your Chamber of
Mhm.
Commerce to go in and be the person who, for the Chamber of Commerce, is the podcast person. Like
Yeah.
when you want to get your business talked about, you go, you talk with Ellie, because Ellie's the fucking person right
Yeah.
here. She's
And then,
she's the pro.
yeah, and thank you. And that's what I did. And I went in and I introduced myself. And at first, if you're doing what I'm doing, what you're doing, it's such a new niche, honestly. So when you go in and you're talking to these people, they're looking at you like you got three heads. They're like, we don't I'm like, you have no idea the power of podcast on who's listening, right?
Right.
People don't understand. And not only it's who's listening and whose platforms we're on, you're getting that real, right? You're getting that story, your authentic story, and you're telling that. And you don't have to just talk to yourself. Hey, I did this in a room. It's like you and I, we're conversing, and people could relate more to that. And it's the narrative therapy. And it goes back to that narrative therapy, just as we do using in coaching and in any kind of therapy. It's similar. We're talking people's stories. It gives people a chance to understand who they're with, understand the business, the feeling behind the business, what they went through to get where they are. So it's a powerful, podcasts are powerful, and it's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. And they can take whatever they want. They can go and chop it up if they want. If they want to take little clips from it, there's probably some part of the story. I mean, they probably want to have the whole story out, that, because I mean, that's what sells so many people on now, is more the story
The
than the
reels.
product.
The
And the
reels too. Yeah,
reels.
yeah, yeah. Little reels we do too. We give them little reels, little clips of the story that they can also market onto their social media or whatever they want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And people can, they want to know the story. They want to know whatever is the reason they're doing this.
Mhm.
That's they're buying from. And so, what was the first person who eventually broke and said, "Hey, I'll do your podcast." You don't have to say their name, but what was it? Like, if you said you were walking in there like you had three heads, who was the person who, stood up and said, "Hey, I'll do this"?
Uh, um. uh, well, when I say what they thought I had three heads is when I went into originally to market it.
Sure. Yeah.
When I went into the chamber and I said, "Hey, my name's Ellie, and I started this podcast. It's called Storytime." That way, when I started explaining, they were looking like, "Well, what category? Where do we put her? Because no one's ever come in and said this."
Right.
I said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing, and then we can figure this out, right?" So what I'm doing is, and I explained that I'm going to interview and market. It's marketing. It's marketing in different level, in a different way. So that's what they have me in. They have me in as in the market and marketing.
Okay.
Part. So that's how I'm categorized in the chamber. Now, getting back to the other part of the story was I went into a meeting, and the room was probably a good, I'm going to say maybe 50 or 60 people in the room. It was a pretty big room. The first meeting I went to, because they have these consecutive, I didn't know how to market because people didn't understand what I was saying. Like, I was like, "Oh, what are you here for? What are you, a realtor?" Because I'm a realtor, but you can't cross. And if you're going in as a podcaster host, I can't now turn around and say, "Oh, by the way, I'm realtor too." That you can't. You got to,
which is hard.
You go in with, because some people do know me as a realtor, right? They're like, "Oh, well, didn't you?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, but we'll talk about that later." So now you got the different hat, right? Well, that's a different hat. We'll talk about that hat later. Another hat. But yeah, so the first time, I'm going to be honest, when I went in, I didn't get, people looked at me, they didn't give me any like response at all. It was kind of like, who the they didn't say it, but my attitude was like, they're looking at me, what the fuck is she? Who the hell is she? I mean, she's like podcast? Like, yeah, I listen on the radio, whatever. I think that was the reception I felt like I got. And I think it was because I didn't know how to do it. I did not know how to do it myself. And I think a suggestion which I think helps is get a wingman or a wing woman, somebody who could be a better talker than you are and really know salesperson, sell your product because it sounds better coming from somebody else than yourself.
Yeah,
So,
especially someone who's in sales and then.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, is she trying to sell something? So no, you get somebody who believes in your product and who is a good talker, take them to these meetings and let them do the intro, let them, and then you come in and I'm just saying that's what I found. So yes, so we did that on the second meeting. We did do that. And yeah, we got responses, we got takers, people are now interested. Oh yeah, well, podcasts are new. So now we're like really like listening to them now. And I'm like, well, yeah, this is great because we're audio and video. And a lot of people don't know about video. I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, a couple one that came in, I forgot to tell them how to dress. I think one woman had a dress on that was like short. And I'm like, well, the couch, we could like see everything there. So it's going to be more like a porno.
Yeah,
that would probably sell.
Yeah, here's our complimentary blanket for this episode. You're gonna throw that over your legs.
Yeah, I was like, shit, why did I get a banner for that?
Right.
I could put my name over. But anyway, yeah, so it's working. And it's a lot. It's a lot to really promote authentically, organically. I don't mean, to go out and promote your podcast.
Right.
People want to know about it. They want like, what? What is that? Ooh, wow. But, they don't. So I have a lot more ideas for clips and how to market it. But well, that's another story for another time.
So then as far as clips, are you taking taking notes or something and saying, hey, like this would be a good clip, or are you leaving that to the people that are in charge of the video and audio, or the people that are the guests saying, hey, I remember saying this, can you clip this out?
No, most people don't even care. I go through it and I will make notes as I'm recording them on what I think is going to be something that I'll timestamp, right? I timestamp.
Okay,
yeah. I'll say, okay, well, this is going to be, naturally, like even a movie clip. It's the same as if you were doing a movie, right? You're going to try to pick the best scene to market the scene. So I try to pick the best part of the conversation and say, okay, oh yeah, that'll be it, and it's all good to hear, right? We want to hear it all. It's good, right. But it's, enticing. Oh, wow. That's what it's about. Okay. What? Someone sleep with somebody's what?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I see the, sometimes they'll do the first, that scene, if they're doing a video podcast, like if they put it up later, doing that first scene, and then it goes into your title and then whatever to grab people that way. But I don't know. Maybe one day, I like that idea, but I don't know. I don't know if I could think of what would be the one thing that I like that fast if I'm putting out as much as I'm putting out. Because
you do a lot. Yeah.
Going back and listening to them right afterwards is, I don't know, the timestamp. I like that idea too.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
It works. It works, and I think, it gets to like I said, it's just like the movies when you watch a preview. But I'll have a lot going on with the podcast as well, and I'm trying to now. Well, I am doing. It's not that I'm trying to do it. I'm putting it together. More of a, and I did dabbled a little bit with the relationships coaching, stories on people's on the dating, being single, relationships. We are circling around to that, and we're trying to just put together a podcast just on those stories, because I have so many of the people that want to come on and tell their stories, and they're funny. I mean, some want to, I shouldn't say, a lot want to talk, a lot want to come on the podcast, tell their story. Then you say, okay, we're going to be recording. Like, are you going to see my face? Are people going to know me? I'm like, well, could put a bag over your head and
Yeah, if you want to do that, feel free.
but if one of those people are listed that were in your story, they're going to recognize the story.
Right. Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
But that's a good thing. And those things go around now too. It's the like when you tell that story, it'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, who is that? Let's, internet,
And
sleuths.
yeah. Like, and I'm all about inspiration. I'm all about, yay. I'm a cheerleader for a lot of people with their stories, because that's, I think, why I developed story time with Ellie, is because
Yeah.
I want people to tell their stories, be proud of what you went through and how you got there, because you're teaching people, right? That narrative therapy, you're teaching them it's okay. Look where you are today. And it makes people think about, well, I can do the same thing. If they did that, I can do the same thing. And I think that's kind of why, trying to get a lot of this stuff, content put together and put it out there. I had one woman, and I may have mentioned this before on a podcast, but long story short, she was like this stripper, right? She was everywhere, stripping here, doing this, doing that. So I got all the nitty gritty on her story because she told me it. And today she's not doing that. She's in the medical field and she's pretty high up. And, I'm like, God, you would be great inspiration. You could tell all your dirty stories. I know everything you did as a stripper, and look where you are today. And she's fearful because her husband don't know she did that. Interesting. Yeah. And I'm like,
Interesting.
wow. He don't know that's what you did back he didn't go see you, he didn't see you up on that pole.
Right.
And, yeah,
How do you account for those years? Or no, I don't know. Maybe it was less
she
than a
was
year, but
yeah, she was in college. It wasn't like she was
okay.
married to him. She wasn't like married to him going, oh, honey, I'm going out to, bake cookies
Right.
with the ladies tonight. And she didn't go climb a pole. Although sometimes sometimes we did do that years ago, but no, we went for pole
Yeah.
dance lessons. But no,
How'd
she
that
was,
go?
oh, that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
we climbed the pole. I think I got like that much off the ground. No.
Okay, that's still pretty good. It's
Oh my God. Anyway, so that was that. And yeah, so stories. So what else can we talk about, Rusty? Come up with some let's talk about some fun things. Come on, pop some bad questions at me.
ooh, okay, you want some bad questions. Okay, so let's see. So okay, we're talking about the people you've hired. And then yeah, I don't know. Now that you threw me on the spot, now I'm off my game.
Oh, no, not you, Rusty. I couldn't wait. I said, "Oh my God, you're so easy to talk with. You got that disposition. You have that like, oh, and especially now with that background, I
and
love that.
the
And
majestic shithead there.
is that cat all black?
Yeah, he's all black. His name's Shithead.
Oh
I have
my God, shithead!
I,
I love that.
Shithead. Yeah.
Oh
I
wow.
was big into the jerk, and the dog's name is Shithead, and he was for a minute when I got him, and then he became a really good cat. And
Yeah, but look at his ears. They looking back. You talk about
yeah,
cats, right? Okay, is that wasn't
yeah.
a feral cat, right? No.
Well, I got him at the pound, but so I mean, kind of, but
Well,
no, I wouldn't say he was feral. Like he was at the pound, so he wasn't just. I've had feral cats that would come and just walk like a pack of them that would walk through my backyard and just shit everywhere. So it wasn't like
and
that.
they're generally nasty, right? Like
Yeah,
no matter how much you try to tame them,
right,
they lash at you.
right.
My daughter gets mad when I say this to her, but she's got one. The cat could be
Yeah,
so sweet that all of a sudden you'd be walking by and the fucker's like smacking at you and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck is wrong? Oh, mommy, it's you. It's you. And it's not me. I walk past the fucker, and next thing I know, he's swatting at me. And it's funny talking about this. I have a friend who was dating a girl. Did I ever tell you that story?
I don't, I
I'm going to
don't
tell you.
think so.
I'm going
Okay,
to tell you. And then he was dating this woman, and he'd call me up, and he was kind of a client, but he would call me up, and he would always talk about her and what was going on. But And I finally said, I'm like, he goes, she's so nice. She's so, she's great and everything about her. I love her. But then as soon as it doesn't go her way, she can't get the piece of jewelry or something she wants, she attacks me, screams. So the only way I could sum it up to him, I says, well, she's like a pharaoh cat. This guy never forgot that. They're not together today, but they're
Good.
not. But he says to me, it's like, I always thought about that comparison of her being a pharaoh cat. And I'm like, yeah, because no matter how nice you are, you could be nice, but as soon as something triggers them, they're fucking lashing at you. And that's exactly what she would do to him. She'd rip his eyes out if he did something wrong. And yet she's so sweet. So we call those pharaoh cats.
I like that a lot.
Wait, your cat looks like now he or she?
It's a he.
Oh, he's gonna
Yeah.
look like he was gonna attack you.
He might. He won't, but
But he's not
yeah.
feral. But yeah, that's my definition of a feral cat and a woman.
Yeah, I've yep. I've encountered some maybe along the journey somewhere. There's been some that I've seen
Oh,
out in the wild, so with your helping people with relationships, is this always people before or just after a relationship going on, or is this people, are you doing couples at all,
uh,
or
it's
other?
honestly, it's anyone who wants to talk and get through a situation. And most of the time it's singles, people that
Okay.
are by themselves. They don't come to me as couples. It's mostly a one-on-one type of therapy where they're venting and, they may ask my opinion on something, which obviously you have to be a little careful how we give opinions. So what we do is we turn it around in a story, right? We'll tell stories of what happened to this particular person and how they ended up. And this is the narrative therapy that I was explaining before. We get it through, through stories. So yeah, so they'll, call and schedule and we'll talk and they'll tell me whatever. And sometimes I'm going to be honest, I could be a little hard. Like,
Me too. And
we can only, and it's okay because that's what they, I think, like about me.
right.
I
And
don't sugarcoat nothing. You know, if your husband or boyfriend or has been out every night this week and you don't have sex and you haven't slept with each other in like, I don't know, 6, 7 months, what do you think? What do I think? Well,
what
what
do
do
you
you
think?
think? What do you think?
What
And
do
they'll
you
say,
think?
what do you think? Well, I don't know. It could be because I said, no, he's fucking somebody. Okay. No, he's got a problem. I'm sorry. And I always say to people, I probably shouldn't be saying because I am nicer naturally if you're, I'm on, but I'm going to be honest.
Right. Which you should be.
Yeah, because it's not like, you don't want to say something like that without proof, right? You're not going to sit there and tell people to do crazy things. All I do is I tell stories and you open your eyes and you will see. And then usually when they find out, and I had this happen to me yesterday, I'm not going to get into too much detail. We were going through this with this one individual and it got to the point where he actually admitted it now. He admitted he's seeing somebody. Was it easier for her to handle? Yeah, it was. Because I was telling her for the last 9 months that if all this stuff is happening, this could be the reason. So it kind of, through stories, it kind of, I want to say premeditated stories, but it kind of made them think like, yeah, that did happen. That same thing happened to the other person. And, it's just narrative therapy. And they could see things much better and much clearer talking about situations. And yeah, so a lot of times it could be pretty, wild.
Yeah. And I think that people that are coming to you are coming to you because, I mean, and I've been talking about this a lot lately with anyone who's in, like from doctors to
Mhm.
therapists to, uh, you know, coaches to whatever, like if you're not, there's a lot of whatever they are, and you can always go to another one, and you find the one that works for you, and not everyone is going to want something that's not sugar coated, but there's the people that like for hypnosis, like I know
Oh yeah, I forgot you.
hypnotists
Yeah, cool. Mhm.
who will sugarcoat anything. And if I have clients that call me up that, like, I don't want to turn them off. Like, I know that it's something that would be great for them to do, but with me, I'm not going to be sugarcoating a damn thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have someone be like, I don't like hypnosis because I don't like Rusty. He told me like it was, and I don't want that. I want to be spoon fed fluffer stuff. But I have colleagues, I guess, that
Mhm.
can do that, and they very much are
But you're
holding that person. Yeah,
But you're doing the job, Rusty. You're doing a job that I know it could come out as being harsh, but you're doing the job that I'm not saying, say something, what the fuck? Of course they're fucking around. What the hell's wrong with you, asshole? Again, if you can't play, you can always edit this, but
you're good. You're good.
But I'm not. You may be thinking that, but we're not. When we say we're harsh, we're not saying it like that. What we do is in the story, and I'm sure you're doing the same thing with the hypnosis. We're basically talking to them in a way that we're helping them think. Think. Why? Why would you? You know what I do? And I turn it around, right? Turn it around.
Yep.
If you were doing what they're doing, what would you be doing?
And
And
it's
that's what I
such a
mean. Yeah.
yeah.
And that's what I mean. I don't know. I do coaching. I'm
I
not a psychologist because I
Yep.
don't dig into your past, or I may, but a different way. Psychiatrist, as we know, give medication. We don't, that's not us.
Yep.
We're
Mhm.
organic, we're authentic, and it works, it helps. And if you don't believe, I always say, well, you know what? You can always, I'm a coach, talk to me, go talk to a psychologist. And I've had some say that and come out, and I'm going to be honest, come out and said, she said the same thing you said. I said, wait, because I'm a little harder when I say it, but not hard. It makes you make them think. And like you said, it has to be done in a way, but you get through it. They get through it. But what do you
Right.
do, Justin, if you don't mind me? You say hypnosis. What do people do when they call you? I'm going to interview you now real quick.
Sure, it depends, what it is that, the hypnosis is for, or I don't know, I do coaching, counseling as well,
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, hypnosis, like, kinda everything. There's always the ones that, everyone always thinks of, and I don't like doing them, which is the weird part. The one that I get the most phone calls for, I almost always turn down because
Mm,
I don't enjoy it, which is the stop smoking or weight loss. Uh,
yeah.
I don't know. It's not something I enjoy, and there's any other hypnotist can do it. So it's I don't know. It doesn't make mine something a little different, a little special, but like something I've been working on. Um, and it's kind of going through the testing phase right now. Do you know what like a float room or a float tank is? Like a sensory deprivation tank?
Explain it to me again. It sounds
Okay,
familiar, but I don't want to assume that I know, and our listeners
sh-
might not know, or your listeners might not know. Yeah.
sure. So it's so I can do this. I can just open this up and show you.
I don't know how to do all that stuff.
There's a few things. Okay, so
Oh, wow.
there's this. So this water is set to like your body temperature, like somewhere around 98 degrees, somewhere in there. And there's 50 pounds of Epsom salt in there. And
Okay.
so you can either do it like I don't really like these uh egg looking pods. I don't like them as much, but you can do these ones like this more this like full room where you're in a tub
Well,
and
yeah, those pods, if you're claustrophobic, you're going to freak the fuck out.
right. And
No,
yeah,
if we put that lid down on you,
Yeah.
It's almost like a tanning bed a little bit.
It's right. It's a lot like a tanning bed.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. And so they have these other ones that are more like a room, but you can have the light on if you want, but the way you're supposed to do it is, having the it's
Wow.
no light and no sound at all going through. So it's just complete darkness and complete silence. And you're in there, and since it's 50 pounds of Epsom salt,
You're
you
floating.
you're totally floating, and so
Wow.
you can't really eventually tell like where your body ends and the water begins. And so at the end of it, when you get out, they would put on a little bit of music, sort of like in at award shows when you're talking too long, and they're like, "All right, hey, time to get the fuck out of here." So they put on a little music, and so when I started hypnosis training, I was getting massages and doing acupuncture. And so I was really thinking about wanted to do hypnosis during a massage session. That's hard to
Mm.
say. But the thing about that is, at least in Oregon, there was a law with hypnosis that you're not allowed to be in the same room with someone who is naked and doing hypnosis because of ethical
Yeah.
things.
You
And
might like
so,
put them under a trance and take advantage.
right. So
I shouldn't
so
laugh
there's
about that,
that.
really, but
No,
but
it's
that's
true.
the
That's the reason.
that's saying
And
it like it is.
yeah, exactly. And so
No filter.
no filter, then that's the best.
I can go further.
You can't go for it. And
Wait,
so
I don't know if I want to do that. Wait, depends who it is. No, go ahead.
and so then I thought, okay, well, like, because I wanted to double up on the good feeling. I know that I was like, if I had some sort of relaxation hypnosis before or during while I'm getting a massage, that would be fucking awesome.
Mm,
Um, and then so I was thinking, hey, like um the float tank like gives you that extreme relaxation, and they put the music on at the end. What if I just had them, put up hypnosis at the beginning of the float, and then so you could listen to hypnosis while in there, and then the rest of the time just float. And so my friend Crystal and we each tried it. I made a recording, like just a easy relaxation recording, and did it, and it was amazing. And then I tried to pitch it to the people at that place in Portland, as well as people in Minnesota, in Colorado, in Utah, in uh, Pennsylvania. And then I found one out here that they were doing hypnosis in their tanks. And I was like, oh shit, okay, someone's doing
wow.
what I've been talking about for all
Yeah.
this time. And so I go in there and try it out. And I had some British guy doing a hypnosis, but it was kind of shitty. And I was like, and they were in the testing phase of this. And so I get out and I tell them, I'm like, look, like you're onto something here. Like I've been trying to do
Excuse
this for
me.
6 years,
Mhm.
and let me help you. Like let me troubleshoot this, and let me make one here, and then you can try that, and I can do it better than this person, because then I can make it specific to the floating experience, and
Yeah.
add a bunch of stuff, because they weren't doing anything. It was nothing like that. And so um so they're testing it right now, and I just recorded it maybe, I don't know, a week or two ago, and so it's getting
So
tested. Yeah.
so you're helping them out and it's their product?
um what do you mean?
When you said you're testing it with them, is this something that you're going to do on your own, or are you partnering with them?
Partnering with them. So I would be
Okay.
like if someone, but I'd like encourage them to keep the other hypnosis stuff for people, because then I don't want me to be the only option for them doing, whoever.
No, I get that, but sometimes I know it with again with my past experience, I always get fucked. Every time I come in with an idea, and I think we may have discussed this, we're kind of always on the ground. Like we're always like the breakers, like icebreakers. We're the ones coming in, groundbreakers, whatever you want to call us, with these crazy ideas, right?
Yeah.
And we're always trying to explain ourselves to people. And next thing you know, like it's out. Like, and I don't mean in a week, because that means somebody was thinking about the same time you are, like
Right.
years later. But it's like, I talked to that person like 3 years ago, whatever. It's just sometimes, I don't know what it is. I guess we're just the connector, and certain things, not everything. So I'm
Yeah.
just hoping that you're not a connector and they try to take this and run away with it on you.
I hope not either. But if they,
Or I'll have to come kick their ass. You're not, I'm going to be in
Right.
New York next week.
Thank you. Oh, you are. I think no. Maybe I'm going to be up there in a couple weeks.
I'm going to be in New York. Yeah, upstate. Go to the mountains, hanging out for the weekend and campfires and do crazy shit like that. Drink.
Excellent.
My sister's in a dive bar, so I'm going to go visit her dive bar and fun
So-
things, down to earth things. Country. That's what we are. That's what I am. Love my country.
Yeah. So when you say upstate, you don't mean like upstate, like Parkway, anything
No,
out of New York, out of this, well, I
out of the
remember,
city.
it was
Yes.
like not too far out of the city, but anything out of the city is upstate.
80 miles northwest of Manhattan. So for us living there, growing up like I said, I grew up in the country, that we consider ourselves upstate New York because we were.
Yeah.
And anyone from New York City, they would say upstate. Oh, we're going upstate New York because I lived in an area that I think we may have said that was predominantly New York people coming up for the weekends there. Yeah. So we'd always,
Yeah.
so I still talk about that. Even though I don't live there, I'll say upstate New York. And people will say, oh, you mean Albany or you're going to Rochester? And I'm like, oh, no, upstate as far as upstate from the city. Yeah.
Yeah. And
80 miles.
So then are you driving up? You flying up?
I'm flying up. Gonna be
Okay.
flying up there. I'm gonna be. It's funny too. I'm gonna be with the family the whole weekend, and I want to do a podcast in the bar. A quick type of podcast at this particular bar, what she has, because it's so, that she's in with everyone else, not just, she's not by herself in this bar, but anyway, yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I have my family. I haven't seen some of the family for like 2 years, been a while.
Okay.
I talk to
So-
them. So it's gonna be fun.
What do you mean doing the podcast there? Would it be like just going up to random people, or would it be the people in your family
I think
interviewing them?
I kind of wanted to do a little of both because it's again, I don't know sure how this is going to pan out, but it's like everyone has their story and there's so many people in the bar that have great stories. And my sister, as a bartender, right, she hears a lot of them. So I said, you know what, maybe I'll do a quick segment in the bar of, I go home and this is, this country bar that we, have just people tell maybe some stories. We'll see. It's kind of a little, but then we want to do, my one sister, I got 4 sisters. The one is like, oh, we're going to go to the casino. I said, I'm not going to the casino. I don't want to do nothing but lie around with campfires and just chill. I don't want to do nothing where I got to dress up and all that.
You can
extra
go to
stuff.
casino anywhere. Casinos aren't too
yeah.
different from place to place.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to doing that. That's going to be a good weekend, especially with the family. Yeah.
Sorry. So you're in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever had boiled peanuts?
No.
Okay.
Roasted in New York, right? We roast them.
Yeah.
They roast them.
Boiled.
Never boiled.
Boiled.
Never boiled. No.
Okay. So I tried that for the first time
I
last
never
week.
heard of them.
I hadn't either. So there was some I assume they were tweakers selling some shit on the side of the road that looked like some.
Never heard of.
Yeah.
How do they do? They put them in water and boil them?
Yeah, they put them in fucking water and boil them. Like they have like a big pot, like like this.
Seems like
big-
they'd be tasteless.
That's what I thought, and they kind of are. So they have to put like seasoning on them. So
Oh, okay.
they had a regular one or a Cajun one. I had they gave me 2, and it was god
Where do you-
awful.
Where do you get such an animal?
This was in Florida. This was in
Must have been Tallahassee. No.
where was it? Yeah, no, it was
The border of Georgia, Alabama. Where could this be?
I think it was kind of like Mid-state, like sort of in between,
where I am.
maybe. I need to look at a map. Uh,
Well, I mean, it could be just an area I
but
just adventured. A half hour from where I live,
yeah,
it's
it's
like
pretty
it's the world.
country.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of country. You got
So that's
amazing,
where I
amazing.
was.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That's why I'm here. That's why I ended up here, right? Not
Yeah.
Delray Beach, not Delray Beach. I should have been in Delray. Like that's where I was supposed to go. I have another home there, and I'm like, I landed here, and I'm like, I love it here. It's country. We have ponds. I have coyotes. I have alligators. So it's beautiful living here. My daughter had
Yeah.
one under her car, actually.
Okay.
It's maiden season now here, and I wish I had a
For
picture of that alligator.
alligators.
Well, yeah, not us, the alligators. But
Right.
what I don't understand, well, hopefully it's maiden season all year for us. Um,
Hopefully.
yeah, better be. Ill it is. Anyway, so the alligators. What I don't understand is why they're coming to our door.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't. I wish I could show you the picture, but literally, it's coming to our doors. Some of them, not all of them, not everybody's doors. I get them, but yeah.
Right.
She had an alligator at her door. The neighbor got a picture of it and it was under the car. It's like, what the hell? Is it like stalking you? Is going to get you in the car? So that when the guy goes, well, it's maiden season. I'm like, well, yeah. And I have 2 Maltese and I'm in Tampa. I go to Tampa a lot now too. This is in
Oh,
Tampa
okay.
now. Now I'm back over in Tampa where she lives. I didn't tell you that, but I got the 2 Maltese. So we walk out in the middle of the night. Now she tells me yesterday, we can't do that no more. I said, what the fuck are they doing under your car? Why are they under the car? They're like stalking now and then coming to your, once walking to the door, you can see the door, and it's like, what are they coming in for? What do they think they're going to get?
Yeah. There's a hidden supply of alligators hidden
There must be some
hidden in the
female
basement.
alligators. I don't know, or male.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand that. When the guy goes, oh, that's because it's maiden season. I'm like, what the fuck they at our door for? Plain,
Yeah.
come
And
on.
is it
I
the
mean,
males or the females that are at
I
the
don't
door?
know. I don't know. They're just
Yeah. They're just
there.
alligators. Like
They're
I
just
couldn't tell
alligator. I
you.
can't tell the difference. I wasn't going to turn
Yeah.
it over and like flip it
Right.
around and see,
Yeah.
oh, what the hell?
What is this? Okay, good.
I'm like, oh no, I got to be careful with the dogs. Yeah, they'll go after
Ah,
that. They're like
yeah.
walking around the streets on the sidewalks here. Well, I'm in
Okay.
Winter Garden, but they're
Yeah.
here too by me because we're
Yeah.
central and where she is, it's just a brand new development. So people understand too a little bit now. It's brand new there where she is. She only moved in July of last year. So it's all new. So you have a lot of waterways in there that are coming in from the bay in Tampa that were wildlife. So it's
Okay.
kind of sad. So they're just like, and I have it here
Yeah.
too. Very new area where I'm at as well. So they didn't leave yet. Like Delray Beach, you're not getting them Delray Beach. I've never seen an alligator all my life in Delray Beach, but you're getting them here, Winter Garden Central, and you're getting them where she is in Tampa. Those fuckers are coming out to hang out with us. They want coffee and have a drink.
I need to watch out now.
No, they're not
Yeah.
having coffee, but yeah.
So I was somewhere over more in the middle of the state, like in between there and like somewhere between Tampa, Orlando, and Daytona Beach.
Oh,
Like
that's good. Were you on I-4?
somewhere along there.
Oh, that's a badass road, boy. That's like you
Yeah,
go on that road, you're like white knuckled the whole way. You're like,
yeah. Or on
bad.
that road for a while on that
That's it. Yeah. It's a
four trying.
main road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that was I don't know. It was cool down there. I except
I
for
love
the
it.
boiled peanuts. Just
Yeah.
so if you see 2 people on meth probably so if you see people with a big fucking stirring stick and
I won't stop.
that don't stop. Yeah, you don't need to stop. You can go your whole life without having boiled peanuts. So
Yeah. The roasted
it,
ones were good in the city, right?
oh,
Manhattan.
absolutely. Yeah.
Great ones on the side of the street, on the side of the roads and
Yeah.
vendors, whatever you want to call them. But we used to go in, that was like a treat. Roasted peanuts or however they made them, but not
Yeah.
boiled.
Not boiled. Yeah.
I'm going to pass those people.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend said, because I brought it up to him and he has some buddy in South Carolina, I think, that has a boiled peanut company. And I was like, these things taste like shit. He's like, it's like
Huh.
peanut butter. Like, do you like peanut butter? Right. I'm like, I like peanut butter, but boiled peanut,
No
maybe it's like,
flavor.
yeah, there's nothing. It's just this soggy.
Yeah, but you're gonna get people that say, "Oh, it's boiled." So when you're boiling anything out, I mean, it doesn't seem. But I guess it's a good gimmick. I shouldn't say it's a gimmick, but I mean,
It kind of
who the
is.
who the fuck would eat a boiled peanut?
Right.
It's
And
it's bad enough you're not like getting enough out of your, I don't know, whatever.
what I heard was it was because they probably don't have any teeth or many teeth, and it's easier to they probably maybe like peanuts a lot and just decided that, hey, it'll
Well,
be mushy, then
with that thought, you better not, it's not in this area. Wait,
yeah, not
we all have our
not
teeth
over
in our, but I think north,
yeah,
north, I think north of us, even though we're central, those little pockets, those
there's
little
pockets.
pockets, Leesburg. Oh, I better not say that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's pockets
No,
everywhere. And
yeah,
I mean
scary.
that's how it is. And so like yeah, maybe it's a little easier to chew those in a way. But so yeah, so then are you flying into like into the
Newark,
city?
Newark
Oh, to New
area.
York. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a
And
little easier. We do have another airport near me and where I'm from, and it is Newburgh, New York, but they're not doing their flights. Or it's like you could fly in Friday night, you got to fly home Sunday morning.
oh, okay,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know how many people really like, I mean, that's great when you're really in a rush, but I'm kind of going up to see family and I want to spend a few days with them. Though it's good to know that that plane land is like that because you know how it is sometimes you get with your family.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I got an airport right here. I
Wait a
can
minute, there is an airport that I can be in for like a day and a half and go home.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I don't know.
I thought so I live like right by an airport. I thought I like I was so excited. Like I'm like, I don't live anywhere near an airport. It's like to go to the
Allentown?
Philadelphia airport.
Oh,
That's like
Philadelphia.
like Allentown's probably an hour
Yeah.
20, and then Philadelphia is maybe about a little less than an hour.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I have an airport like a mile and a half from me, like a little airport. So I got little planes flying over all the time. And it's just like, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it's just, I may as well just be right by the city again. And
Yeah. It's funny that you ended up like that.
yeah, I was trying like, okay, I'm gonna be far away from the airports, but yeah, this
But
little one.
you forgot to look about air traffic when you know,
Yeah,
bought your place. That makes a big difference, when you there's the people will actually ask about that, when it comes to real estate. They want to make sure that, I'm thinking air rights. And I'm like, well, we can't sell you the air, but well, I want to make sure there's no planes flying. Well, I don't know. I can't really get up there in the towers and tell them, you're buying this fucking piece of property that don't, you can't. But I've
yeah,
had that. I've had people say, well, I want to make, we can't do that. You can't. And there is, certain amount of air right. Maybe like, I don't have any hundreds of feet above your house, but
yeah.
you know, I mean, the airlines they're not landing on your house, but you can't like obviously clear the air, to the, birds fly by,
Unless you have enough money.
I don't know. I mean,
So are you selling property, or are you selling residential or commercial, or what are you selling?
I do both. I do commercial and residential, but I'm going to be honest. I actually I did a little spin on that now that we're talking about it. I started to market to, and it goes along with the coaching, people that are getting divorced. So it's funny too that I haven't have a book here. Best selling options in a divorce. And it's funny that I even had that sitting there, but I don't know, always giving that out to people. It's people that are getting a divorce and they need, many times people do have to sell the home to split the equity, for what the house is worth and
Yeah,
the money. So many times that happens. And a lot of times it's distress and people don't know which direction to go. So I kind of guide them with that too. That's where the coaching comes in as well. So you're selling their house, coaching them to sell their house, and then you're helping them get through the divorce. So yeah. So
but
I do have I have several clients that I'm working with that. Yeah, that's where you switch those hats on and off. But
yeah,
yeah, no, it's a big thing. And until someone has gone through that, it's horrible to see people have to go through that. And I do feel for them because I went through it, right? I went through that. So
yeah.
it's very sad. And yeah, I want to get into that now, but it could be a battle. It's a battle. So you have to make the right decisions. So I'm doing a lot of those. Actually, I'm doing 3 right now on in the area, Winter Garden area, Claremont.
So is that usually something that they get to after they've talked with lawyers and start trying to figure things out? Is that usually about when they're going to go to get to be, oh, it's time to sell the house to split up the equity? Or is that usually before? Like if you had a lawyer, you know, like a divorce lawyer in town that would, especially if like someone that could then be able to use you, like be able to understand, like, oh yeah, she knows what she's doing. She has a book on it, for fuck's sake. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
I actually
yeah,
did get a client from a lawyer, if that's what you're saying. I did have a
yeah,
lawyer that I know that said, "Oh, listen," and also to mentor them too, because I do have another book that did not get out yet. That got held up like 5, 6 months, and that's called The Divorce Blueprint. So
okay,
hopefully that should be out soon. And that's actually a great book because that's a book that actually walks you through it all. And a lot of times you do need that third party. You do need a mentor. You do need somebody who's going to be able to talk to you through this third, person or a non-biased opinion, right? So you have
right,
this house. What do you do with the house? The husband wants you out of the house. You don't want to go out of the house. A lot of times, you get your house appraised. But a lot of times, if there's children involved, you could say, well, okay, maybe the one parent could stay in the home until, you know, this is not the real estate part of it. This is just the mentor, like, okay, maybe one parent could stay in the home with the children until the children are a certain age, and then you could sell it once the children get of college age or whatnot, and then sell it and split the equity. If not, if you can't come to that, if there's children involved, generally what they'll say is, okay, well, just take the property, get it with a real estate. We go in, we appraise it and see what it's worth. And we try to get the best value for your home without beating it up. A lot of couples, what they'll do, and I've gone through this, as soon as they're going through this horrible stage, just sell the fucking house. We want to be done. I fucking can't stand her. I can't stand him. Just fucking sell it. Just be done. I only owe 100,000 on the house. Just sell it. Just get for what it's worth. Let's think about this. I don't get nuts. Say, oh no, okay, I'll go. I gotta listen. I'm
yeah,
like, back up. Let's think about this. Think. You don't need to rush. This doesn't have to be done like today. Think about it. Let's get the value of the home. Let's think reasonably. Let's think with a clear head. Because I'm telling you, people will come to you and say shit like that. I don't want the house. Horrible fucking memory. This one did this. This one did that. Okay, think. Back it up. Few deep breaths, think. And that's kind of where I come in and I kind of talk them
right.
into it. And I try to get the best value for their home that they can get. And yeah, I'm working on 3 right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, one was a lawyer, had given that to me as a, talk to Ellie. And so I have that one. And then 2 came to me through marketing my book. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, you have that and
Rusty's like
have
that.
people,
What hat you wearing?
yeah, you gotta. And I mean, and they all go into that funnel. And then so to find that part of the funnel, and then if people are wanting to find you or work with you, how are they going to find you on in the real world, on the internet world, find your book, find your podcast,
Yeah,
work with
well,
you as a realtor?
there we go. Podcast is it's www.storytimewithellie.com. That's the podcast. Real estate email at this. You could just actually Google me, Ellie DeSimone, realtor, Orlando or Winter Garden. I come right up. Or it's just email is elliedesimone realtor at gmail.com. They could email questions. I get back to them, and I get a lot through the email because they Google you, and when you come up, they find your email. And once in a while a phone number, but I try not to give the phone number out that often because you get calls in the middle of the night.
Uh, can I make a suggestion with that?
Yes.
Google Voice number, and if it's free, um, and
We're just
yeah,
actually we are building also we are working on a another I do have a website, but we're actually changing
uh,
that. I got a couple
Okay.
websites we're working and landing pages that are going to also, people can go on and Google, Ellie DeSimone LLC, because that's what I'm considered in real estate. It's Ellie
Yeah.
DeSimone LLC, and then that'll come right up to the real estate page. But also, yeah, but what's the Google? What were you
Yeah.
saying about that? What's the
So
Google
Google
number?
Voice. So it's basically you have another phone number like
Oh, I do have
you
another
can
phone number. I do have another phone number. I have another phone
okay. Well,
that I
okay,
do.
so I mean this one though, and then you can just like so I have it for my all my business stuff because and I had it for a while where it would just automatically ring to my phone, but it was still like people would have to call my business number, but it would go to my personal phone. But then I just ended up turning that off, like the ringer off, so it just goes right to voicemail, and it's like, "Oh, hey, this is Rusty Diamond. Leave a message. I'll check it," and then it'll like pop up with an email or a little notification on my phone that someone just called, and it'll have, you know, it'll transcribe the
Mhm.
message, and then I can just go and call them right back, and then I'm not using giving them my personal phone number either. But then I mean they can get a hold of me kind of
Yeah, but
whenever they want.
you know what I found though a lot with this type of thing is that people aren't calling you for the right things.
What do you mean? What are you getting
They're,
calls for?
I mean, you'll get calls and some of them are perverted. They'll say like, nasty shit on there,
Yeah.
and it's like, what kind of house is that? What kind of therapy do you need? What, you want to be on my
Yeah.
podcast? Uh, no, we're not doing porno these days. No. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you get some crazy. So I try not to give the phone number out. I mean, it is out there. It is, but I
Yeah.
try not to say too much with the phone number. I try to keep it, all to, websites and links and even with that, you get messages that are fucked up.
Yep. Yep. Oh, there's always gonna be fucked up people doing fucked up things, and like it's just part of the game. Part of the game. You
Yeah.
gotta. I don't know how it's going to change or evolve, but I
It
don't know.
doesn't. It doesn't. I just, like I said,
Yeah.
that's why you get people answering your messages or, and sometimes you can't even get to a lot of these messages and people get mad at you too. I
Yeah.
won't get into all that, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So then they can reach you. You're easy to reach, easy to
Yes.
find, and they know how to work with you. And if she doesn't pick up the phone or if she doesn't respond to your email, just buy her book and then start reading. And then in the meantime, and then you can go and talk to her,
Uh,
and you'll have learned something.
yeah, well,
So
the website will be up and we'll have that on the social media as well. Once it's actually going to be a coach and like a landing page they're making, and it's going to
oh,
be wrapped into the podcast. Like you'll be able to get
perfect.
into the landing page. It's going to tell you what to do, what you want, click, click, and it'll go also into the podcast.
Awesome. Okay. Well, hey, well, thank you so much, Ellie.
Thank
That's
you,
what you need.
Rusty.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Love it. Like, thank
Yeah.
you, Rusty. It was
You're
great
very
talking.
welcome. You two have a great time up in New York, and we'll
I
we'll
will.
talk soon in this fall or something.
I got you. I got you. Thank you,
All
Rusty.
right.
You have
You
a great
bet.
day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye. All right. That's Ellie DeSimone. So check her out. Don't eat boiled peanuts. So thank you everyone for being here and listening. You want to check me out, rustydiamond.net or hypnosisisgreat.com. And that is the show. Man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.